That makes 4 out of the 5 realms that I've visited.
If they try to get in our way, we'll take them down and that'll be that.
Let's dispose of the trash. Do it!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade! See that?
That training's paying off!
You hear it now!
Thunderblade!
Here!
Searing
First
blade!
strike! You're mine!
My fists are crushing it out there!
Hoo! Hoo, hoo, hoo. Hoo! Hoo, hoo, hoo. Hoo! Hoo, hoo, hoo. Hoo! Hoo, hoo, hoo. Look, Hoodle! One of your buddies. Hoo! Little help!
Strike!
Cover
in the air!
Wind after
Searing gale!
Raging
Ready to go!
Seal! They're surrounding us! Annihilation!
Far enough!
Dragon! I'm all stuffed up!
I'm not done!
I'll finish you here and now!
Here!
Radiant
You're mine!
Searing
It's
blade!
over!
Reload! The wind! In here!
I'll stop its charge!
Thanks, Kisara!
Did you see?
Sure did. You were checking out Kisara from behind.
I didn't realize there was a pond here.
Yeah, this is Taka Pond. And it happened to have saved my life once upon a time.
What do you mean?
As a kid, I survived life under the past lords by escaping here when I needed to. It's terrible to swim in, but great for catching a bite for dinner away from Ren and eyes.
Bear in mind, our rations back then weren't enough to live off of. You had to take matters into your own hands if you wanted enough food to survive.
But how did you catch them? With your bare hands?
That might take a while. Fish are prone to swim away at the first sign of trouble.
I'd put bait or a lure on a line and use it with a fishing rod.
You must not be familiar with fishing if this sounds new to you. Here, let me show you how it's done. Now, where might those fish be? Hup. Well, that wasn't much of a challenge.
Guess it's important to stay calm.
Reel it in. Anybody could reel in that.
Guess it's important to stay calm.
And that's all there is to it.
Wow. It seems like you need to have good reflexes to catch anything. I don't know if it's really for me. Kisara? I think I've seen enough.
Oh, sorry. I guess I'm just in my own little world when I go fishing.
Looks like we're going to be here for a while.
That's how fishing goes. You wait for a bite, and then the real battle begins.
Miguel told me that different fish live in different regions, and you have to pick the right rod and lure for what you're hoping to catch.
But that doesn't change the fact it's a giant time sink.
Of course, each fish has its own unique flavor, too. And some of them are supposed to be extremely delicious.
When you put it like that, maybe it's worth me trying my hand at fishing after all.
You're just in it for the food.
I was hoping we'd get to fish during our travels. And it just so happens I made sure to grab my brother's old rod before I left Vicente. So, if you ever feel like fishing when we've got a little downtime, just let me know.
Good to hear. Thanks for showing us.
Okay!
I'm always amazed what healing arts can do.
Just... It's doing my job. No need to thank me.
Hey. Is it just me, or have those two barely spoken a single word to one another?
I know, right? But after everything that happened with Miguel, is it really any wonder?
Kinda puts a damper on the whole journey though, huh? How long do you think they're gonna keep this up?
If it bothers you that much, why don't you ask them?
Why do I have to ask?
How come you walk together like that?
She really doesn't beat around the bush.
You mean Kisara and myself?
You hadn't noticed? You've been practically joined at the hip ever since we left Vicente.
I guess it's force of habit, most likely. I was always ready to protect him, should the need arise. It sort of came with the job description.
Right. From being in the Elder Menancia Guard. Although, Dohalim's pretty capable of defending himself, isn't he?
Having guards doesn't necessarily mean the one being guarded is weak. No one's perfect all the time.
Even so, it's not like they're entirely wrong, Kisara. You're no longer in my employ, after all.
I don't know. I mean, if it's what she's used to and you're both comfortable with it, then who are we to judge?
But she doesn't serve him anymore. It isn't normal for her to keep following him around like she still does.
You know, she's probably right. And a lot has changed over the last few days. I guess it wouldn't hurt to rethink our relationship in light of the new circumstances. Perhaps I'll give it some thought after all. Does that sound all right by you?
Of course.
You might want to stop asking his permission for every little thing while you're at it.
Sorry. It's not that easy, shaking off old habits. I've noticed that sometimes we come across enemies who fight like you, and try to dodge our attacks at the last second.
I hate those guys. I can get some hits in when they move into attack, but otherwise they slip past damn near everything else I throw at them.
If what you're seeking is a way to more reliably hit them, there is a solution.
Try to outclass them on reflexes?
I possess the ability to command Earth elemental beings to some extent. They emerge as the land itself and take root on my command. They will swiftly bind the enemies, at which point you can dispatch them.
Huh?
What he means is that he can make plants grow to hold the enemies in place. At least I think that's probably what he's saying.
I'm glad at least one of us understands him. So basically, if we find an enemy that likes to dodge, we should let Dohalim handle it.
I shall do what I can within my modest means to help.
Why are you looking at me like that?
That armor you wear is standard issue for the Menancian Guard, right?
Originally, I've added some flair to it in a lot of places.
I noticed, especially with that open back.
We guardsmen pride ourselves on never showing our back to our enemies. It's my way of making myself live up to that. Plus, it makes it that much lighter and easier to maintain.
Dohalim, do you have anything to say about this?
Every guardsman is allowed to wear their armor as they see fit.
And you, La?
Huh? Why are you asking me?
This shall suffice. Please, everyone, have as much as you like.
Dohalim, care if I hang out for a while? You worried about what's going on with Menancia?
What makes you think that?
Well, you were speaking to Kisara earlier, weren't you?
It's rude to listen in on others, you know.
Sorry. I didn't hear what you two were actually talking about, though. I just figured it was Menancia since it was the two of you.
I am but a former lord who has abandoned his post. I'm no longer in a position to lead the realm in any capacity whatsoever. Yet Kisara still seeks out my opinions, knowing full well that is the case. This despite the fact I am no longer her master either.
Couldn't it be precisely because you're not her master anymore? It's natural for friends to want to hear each other's opinions.
I hadn't considered that possibility.
It's funny what you miss sometimes.
Hardly uncommon among artistic types such as myself. When lordships are decided based solely on one's astral energy, it can lead to funny results.
But even so, you still took your job as lord seriously, didn't you?
Certainly. I learned to perform my functions. However, I was less interested in ruling, so much as avoiding life and death decisions. Of course, such a mentality in the end led only to sickening pain and death taking place elsewhere out of sight. I pretended not to see or hear any of it, content to let our supposed peace and equality keep me blind and deaf to reality. I was a fool.
But you're making amends.
I would like to think so. The path ahead is dark, yet I still walk on. I merely pray that I shan't fall down any holes along the way. We'd best get ready for tomorrow. Shall we get moving? Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
I just noticed none of you other Danans have spirit cores. Why is that?
Both of my parents were part of the resistance in Calaglia. In fact, my birth was kept a secret from the Renans.
Mine too. We always lived in hiding, so I never had a spirit core embedded in me like I was supposed to.
What about you, Alphen? You were a slave in Calaglia before all this, weren't you?
To be completely honest, I'm not sure why I don't have one. All the other Danan slaves around me did. I was the only exception. They tended to keep their distance from me to avoid attracting any attention from the soldiers, because of my mask and all. What about you, Kisara? Do you still have your spirit core?
No. I was able to find a good Renan doctor who's sympathetic to our kind, and had them remove it before I left. They did such a great job, the procedure didn't even leave a scar.
One of the benefits of coexistence, huh?
I know that once the spirit vessel was shut down, there wasn't much need for me to hurry. But still, I didn't like having that mark of servitude lingering on me any longer than I had to. It may sound a little strange to hear me say this, but I'm just me now. Not a guardsman or a slave. I'm my own woman. And this is my chance to have a new beginning.
This sure is one rugged road. You'd think they'd keep this at least a little better maintained, right?
Why spend energy fixing that which is rarely used? Repairs require time and effort, which in our world means slaves, often in great numbers. For you, it may be a simple request, but that can quickly become another's difficult burden. Nobody gains anything without someone expending effort.
And you know, somehow that someone always ends up being a Danan, while the Renans are the ones who gain.
True enough. Ideally, in a perfect world, I think it's only fair that the ones who need it should be the ones to perform the work.
However, when doing so could be dangerous like it is here, there are many who would prefer that it be others who risk their lives in their stead.
So, what you're saying is that people will just put up with the inconvenience until someone else comes along to fix it for them?
Indeed. And it is those who can no longer bear that feeling that inevitably take action. Much like the Danans in our group do so now. As strange as it may be to hear such a thing from the likes of myself.
It's true that most of the Danans in Calaglia have been resigned to just accepting things as they are. Still, we can't just blame them for...
What are you making that face for? You're not worn out already, are you?
Nah, just regretting I ever said anything in the first place. Oh man, I hope I live long enough to regret it.
Now, let loose. Here!
Where are you going? My
Armor won't save me!
Just getting started.
I'm free, laser! What can they
No
just sit
further.
still?
Sia, can you take care of them?
No sooner astral energy!
Say no more. Got it.
Well done!
You're mine! Eat this!
Raging
Severing wind!
Do it!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
I know fine weapon material when I see it.
All right.
There's nowhere to run from my arc. When he slows down, that's our chance. Take this.
It's like trying to keep up with a wall!
It's over.
You require a head.
Can't get out of this.
Leave the ensnaring to me.
Yeah, and the bubbling in a vine.
I'm not done. You require a hand.
Mega Ray! Back into the fray! Dance in the wing!
No further!
In here!
Here I come!
Get on in there with the evidence!
Here! Now we're not... No further! Here I come! Dragon form! Wind! You require a hand.
In a bind?
Eagle fly! Rising Phoenix! Take this! Your mom can't get out of this! Here I come! You're finished!
Whoa, I'm impressed.
You're mine! It's over! Severing wind! Prepare to be seen! Luna Rongo! Rising Phoenix! You're mine!
In a bind?
I'm only getting started! Reload time!
Dragon form!
Explosive
wind!
Your power is a spectacle to behold.
I'm not trying to be dramatic. Astral energy!
Say no more!
Got some interesting moves there, Dohalim. I'm glad you're on our side.
I'm simply glad to hear that I can make myself useful to you all. Huh?
What's wrong?
We seem to have come across some rather unusual objects.
What, you mean that pile of garbage?
No mere garbage, I assure you. Still, I've never seen anything shaped like it before. I'm intrigued.
Are you curious about this stuff, Rinwell?
Yeah. I think he might have found some old Danon relics. They look like the remains of a bunch of objects that disappeared after the Renans first invaded.
And yet here I am, holding them without so much as a second thought. I imagine the sight must be unsettling to you.
Not really, just that it must be nice to be a Renan who has time to indulge in stuff like that, unlike the rest of us.
Are you interested in this stuff too, Dohalim?
Charmed may be a better turn of phrase. I simply love objects that can give me a sense of what their maker was thinking, the history that went into their creation. You see, we Renans have hardly any such objects that trace back to our distant past.
I still don't understand what you two find so intriguing about it, though.
Why not? We're talking about our own culture here.
I get that, but it's not like this stuff is any use now, does it? It's just old. Real old.
Oh, but it does. Holding it in your hands like this, one can feel and engage with the distant past in a way no history book can ever accomplish.
Well, seeing as it's Danon history, just make sure you're careful with it. All right, Dohalim?
But of course. There's history in the air here. I can smell it.
I don't smell anything.
Don't encourage him.
Visibility along this path will remain limited for some time. Take care not to get ambushed.
I'm surprised you know the terrain here so well. Lords don't strike me as having much time for wandering in the woods.
Sometimes I would take strolls along here when I wished to be alone.
You always did have a bad habit of disappearing without telling any of us guardsmen.
Don't get careless.
Don't tell me! Now I can let loose! Come one, come all! Luna Rongo!
It's a duel of the arts.
Got fire!
I've got it. Let a marksman handle it.
All yours!
The enemy wields arts too.
You'll soon see about that.
Prepare to be seen. Sneak of foot. Actually, that sound is more appropriate.
Less talking, more doing.
I never miss! Here I come!
boss. We've all got enough on our hands.
Severing wind!
Yes, ma'am.
Wind! Devastation! Dragon form!
Hey, that...
This one's all mine! Here I come! Ignite! You're mine!
No, I'm in the groove. Look sharp. Lightning Tiger Blade. Check out these biceps. Pretty glorious, right?
Why are guys so obsessed with their muscles?
Because these puppies have yet to let me down. Oh man, I hope I live long enough to regret
Can't get out of bed! Okay, here I go.
Denied! Eagle assault! I'm not so good with aerial
Severing wind!
pesky airborne scoundrels.
Sounds like a job for you truly.
Oh, now you're talking.
Art expert, coming
You're
through.
mine!
This one's mine.
Severing wind!
Raging
I can carve through armor.
Here I come!
Sleep now.
You're finished!
Your dreams.
I'm on Dragon Swarm!
Do it.
Them off!
Look sharp. Lightning Tiger Blade.
I still got a ways to go.
It's so hilly around here. I can feel my feet getting blisters.
That's mountain hiking for you. It can be pretty tough if you're not used to these sorts of trails.
I take it you're comfortable with them then?
Oh yeah.
Looks like trouble with capital T.
Together, we've got this! Dragon Swarm!
You require a hand.
Try this!
Far enough. Can't get out of this.
Take this!
Now! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
See you continue on in that vein.
Yes, my lady.
Something you wanted to say?
Rising Phoenix! No escape! It's over!
Now!
We can really make weapons with this?
This one's tough, but we have no choice.
Let me know if you need healing.
Double Demon Fire! Dragon Swarm! Try this!
Freaking does it! Freaking does it!
Here, let me help. Heal Force! First
Devastation!
Glacial
Rising
Spear.
Phoenix! This one's all mine!
Leave the enemy's arc to me.
Try this!
Milk place here!
Explosive ring!
Sleep now.
Ignite!
Freaking does it!
Let's get you all tucked away.
Here I come! Wind!
Let me help. You are in tip-top shape.
As soon as I'm done here, come help out.
How could a girl ever say no?
This should come in handy when crafting weapons.
Don't get careless.
Don't tell me! Take this!
Don't mind if I handle this.
Armor won't save you!
I never fit.
I'm like bait to them!
Try this! Explosive ring! Win! Searing Gale!
Oh! Now I'm real mad!
I'll bring you back from death to
Hey!
In a bind?
Too fast!
Stand back. I'll trip it up.
Tear you apart! I'll win! You here and now! Lunar Rondo! Rising Phoenix! Take this!
Ready to go!
You're mine!
Here's a healing arm!
It's over!
Do it!
Severing Wind!
Dohalim!
Blow them away!
Here, let me help. First aid! Lightning orb! More of that!
Strike!
Expert coming through!
Ignite!
Anything in armor!
Well!
Demons descend!
Flashing Fang!
I think I'm getting stronger.
The design of this equipment is really interesting.
You must... really like it, Alphen. More Danon ruins here too, I see.
What were people even thinking back then? Trying to build anything around here.
Maybe they just had that much time and energy on their hands.
What's this thing?
Don't get careless!
Don't tell me!
You're finished! Now I can let loose! Rising Phoenix! Double Demon Fang! Take this!
This one's mine!
You're finished!
Take this!
Do it! Shield! Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
Dance in the wind! Here! Air thrust!
You're mine!
Photon flash! Lightning descent!
Lunar Rondo!
Do it!
Devastation!
Reload! Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis! Radiant flight! Here! And I'll get away!
You're mine! Devastation!
Now!
Take this!
Thunderbolt! I'm ready for the next battle.
What's this place here? Some kind of old house?
I don't know about that. If I had to guess, it probably served as some kind of shrine.
I have a bad feeling about this.
It's over!
Far enough!
First time!
Astral lightning descent!
Lunar Rondo! Rising Phoenix! Take this! Double Demon Fang!
Into the shadow! Chinese supernova!
Dragon Swarm!
Radiant light! Photon dance in the
Take
wind!
this!
Air
Line!
Here!
Lunar Rondo!
Here goes! Series 9!
Hey, when did I get so
You're
lucky?
mine!
I'm just getting started!
Photon lightning descent!
Dohalim!
Blow them away! Now!
Can't get out of this!
Lightning orb!
Let's refrain from losing.
really bad feeling about this.
I'm surrounded!
Tempest,
Here I go!
where are you going?
No!
Light Astro!
Double demon! Eat this! Run well! Demons descend! Flashing fang! Easy!
Way to go!
Nothing gets by me! Win! Devastation! Rising
Now, Kikara, go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
Lightning condemned!
My turn! It's over! Rising Phoenix!
I'm on a roll
Here I come!
If it's in the sky, it's mine!
Luna Rondo!
Do it!
Rising Phoenix!
Hear me!
Not today!
Denied!
Dragon Force!
Looks like we got them all.
Through these lands most verdant green, my eyes alight for sights unseen. In Menancia, pure and pristine.
What is it you see exactly?
That's not for me to say.
No holding back!
Take this!
This will be a piece of cake!
Anything in order to go Eagle Assault!
Throb from pain.
Now I'm here I come!
Take this!
You're mine! Dragon
Do
Force!
it! Kikara! I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life!
Raging Cascade!
Eat this! You have no sword! Watch Phoenix! You're mine! You're finished! This one's all mine!
Now! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
I can feel my precision improving.
We seem to have come across something a little unusual.
bad feeling about this.
It's over!
They got me flanked!
I'm on it! Here I come! It's over! Not today! You're mine!
This one's mine!
Dragon Form!
Ready to go!
Explosive ring! Wind! Lunarongo! You're mine!
Now! Rinwell!
Demon's Descent!
Flashing Fang!
Easy! Way to go!
Take this!
Annihilation! We're in the home stretch, guys!
What you say? Eyes on the prize.
That focus goes double for you, Law.
Me? How come I got singled out?
Get toasty!
Burn strike!
Eat this! Struck!
I'll end you!
Dragon Form!
I'm out!
Eternal Devastation!
Light Astrality!
I'm not done!
Do it!
Shield!
This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes! I've still got a ways to go. Phew, what a rush.
Still thinking about how to act around Dohalim?
That obvious, huh? Except I don't think I'll be changing much after all. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to stay his servant. However, I am going to treat him like a fellow comrade, the same way I would with you or anyone else. For as long as I can remember, I've spent my life protecting others. But isn't that what friends do too? Support and protect one another in times of need?
Which in the end pretty much means doing as you've always done, right? If that's what you're most comfortable with, I'm certainly not going to give you any grief over it.
Actually, I've been thinking about how I ought to act around you all as well.
Oh?
When I set out on this journey, it was to rid Eldaman and Sia of its enemies, and search for wisdom in the outside world. Wisdom that I could potentially put to use on my return. I'm grateful to you all for letting me tag along. But it got me thinking, what am I actually contributing by being here?
What are you talking about? You know how to hold a weapon, don't you? That's help enough.
Is it though? Sometimes I wish there was more I could be doing to pull my...
Oops, sorry about that. Jeez, I'm famished.
Now that you mention it, what do you guys normally do for food and meals when you're out and about on your travels?
What do you mean, what do? We find stuff to eat and eat it. So long as it's meat, I'm not fussy.
Eating what you like can be good for morale in the short term, but you need to think about your diet if you want to stay healthy.
Does that mean eating vegetables too?
Isn't that obvious?
It does, which I guess hasn't been happening up till now.
Yeah, to be honest, we could be eating better than we do.
Understood. In that case, I'll just have to make sure you're all staying healthy and eating right myself. Fortunately, I happen to know a thing or two about cooking as well.
You hear that, Law? Sounds like you'll be eating your greens after all.
What is it?
No, sorry, it's just... I was just wondering if you had any thoughts on all this.
It will do her good to have a project.
No, not Kisara. I meant you. Was there anything you wanted to add?
Me? Certainly you're not looking to me for culinary skill, I hope.
Typical Renan, leaving everything to someone else.
Rinwell, I don't think...
That said, should you need my skills on the battlefield, please rest assured I have no intention of shirking my responsibilities, regardless of who we may face.
I'm sure no one doubts that. Listen, guys, if we're traveling together, we should probably at least try to make an effort to get to know one another, don't you think?
I wouldn't get your expectations too high in that regard. Believe it or not, sometimes I'm not sure I even know myself all that well.
Something wrong? You look like you're deep in thought.
Not exactly. I was merely thinking about you two and your sense of etiquette.
Oh?
Etiquette?
Indeed. To be quite frank, I find your lack of manners to be nigh intolerable.
That's not being frank, that's being an... Forget it. Do we really need to talk about this now?
Yes. I find such impropriety on your parts to be deeply unsettling. It concerns me greatly.
What do you want us to do? We were slaves. We never got to learn how to be proper like you.
Yeah, what he said. Maybe you missed how we were just focused on surviving.
Perhaps, but Kisara here demonstrates that it's quite possible for a Denon to learn proper manners.
That's because I was given the opportunity to learn. Moreover, my duties as a guardsman required it. Not every realm is like Menancia, as you well know.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair to hold us to some other city standards.
Exactly. You've got to remember what it's been like for us living under the Rena elsewhere.
I will concede that you do indeed make a valid point. It would appear, for all my espousing the virtues of equality between our peoples, I was still looking down on the two of you.
You don't need to beat yourself up. I wasn't that offended by what you said, man.
Nevertheless, I shall mind my words from here on out. Having said that, I do believe you two would still benefit from learning the basics of proper society. I would be more than happy to teach you both when we camp out, if you like.
Yeah, no, I'll pass. Acting all prim and proper isn't really my style.
If you say so. How about you, Law? Would you like to learn? Although I suppose my first task is to reform your attitude toward the idea of good etiquette.
You're not gonna let this go, are you?
Hey, let's stop for a minute.
What's up? You already tired?
My armor's pretty heavy. I think I need a little rest.
I second that. All of this walking is starting to take its toll on me as well.
What? You don't look it.
We can't spare the time. There's places we need to be. Mahagsar's capital, Niez, is our destination right now.
But if one of us collapses, it will only serve to slow us down. And in your case, Alphen is the only one who could carry you. Best to rest while you have the opportunity.
Enough already! I need a break, so we're taking one.
I don't need you fretting over me.
Fretting? Hey, it's not like I'm...
Been looking for you.
For me? Why?
He's tough.
Who are you? You said you were looking for me. Why?
Beautiful, precious life.
What the...
That is all I desire.
Then why are we fighting? Who even are you? I'm not done! Storm! Severing Wind! Luna Rondo! Devastation!
Within the sky!
Take Strider! Not a chance! Who the hell are you? Bastard!
This guy's not normal.
His speed is unbelievable.
You mean he even surpasses a lord?
Can't get out of this!
Enjoy!
I can handle it.
Denied!
Where are you going?
Take this!
Enjoy.
Severing Wind! Stunner!
There you go.
Rising
You let
Phoenix!
me again.
Burn! That's good!
Got it.
Eternal
Now's our
devastation!
chance.
Take take this. Explosive ring! First strike!
I'll get
Hurricane!
Searing flame! Back into the fray! One at a time!
Dragon shell! Lunar rondo! Devastation! Rip and tear! Okay, team, here I go.
It's showtime!
Is that all that you've got? Very well. Then die. A wretch like you? Till next time.
Shion, wake up, please!
Alphen?
Shion!
Thanks, but you're kinda crushing me.
Sorry.
It's okay. And so am I. It's not as bad as it looks.
Not bad. That's... Shion, we thought
I'm
you were...
fine. Really.
What the hell were you thinking?
Well, you were trying to protect me too, you know.
Yeah, but I have the sword. It's different.
It's not different. Besides,
Hmm?
Never mind. It's nothing. Anyway, thank you.
But I didn't... Look, I'm just glad that you're...
Alphen?
Sorry.
That guy said he'd be back. I think maybe we should get moving before he returns, right?
Rinwell has a good point. We need to go. Shion, are you sure you're okay?
Shion, are you sure you're okay?
Yeah, I already applied some healing arts to it. It didn't even leave a scar.
But his sword went nearly straight through you.
I'm all right. Unless I've turned into some kind of ghost and I'm haunting you all right now.
No, I know you're not. It's just...
Look, I appreciate you looking out for me, but I'm fine, really.
There was also that strange light that appeared when Shion was stabbed. It seemed to make the enemy retreat when he saw it. Alphen, do you have any idea what it might have been?
A light? I don't know. I was kind of preoccupied with other things at the time.
Now that I think of it, between that light and the blazing sword, just what sort of person are you, Alphen? Can you use Danon astral arts like Rinwell, perhaps?
He wouldn't know, Dohalim. He doesn't have any memories from his past, remember? Besides, we should really be getting out of here.
I suppose you're right. Forgive me. We've almost reached Nias, the capital of Mahag Sar. With any luck, we'll find a place there for Shion to rest. Hey.
How are you holding up after that last fight? You're not too hurt, are you?
I'm fine, really. See for yourself.
If things get too tough out there, go ahead and fall back. I can take a beating if I need to.
I'm not here just to stand around and have everyone protect me.
I get that, but there's nothing wrong with admitting you have weaknesses too.
Do I look like I'm just trying to put on a brave face to you?
I can't feel pain, but you still can, can't you?
Look, I appreciate you're trying to look out for me, but even you go down in fights from time to time. Please, stop trying to babysit me. It's getting old.
It's not that. I just...
Are we in the right place? This place looks like a mess.
Yes, this is Nias, the capital of Mahag Sar.
I don't see any signs of people. And the buildings.
Yeah, this doesn't seem like the kind of place people would actually live.
No soldiers, no Danons, not a soul to be seen. Yet look at these facades. This is clearly a Renin district.
Hey, check out that drawing on the castle gate. That's the Darkwing's crest. It's from an old Danon legend about a hero who defeated an evil king with a torch and their trusty owl. That's his crest. I'm sure of it.
Really? First time I'm hearing it. So if someone drew it on the gate...
It must mean the Renins have lost control of the city.
Are you suggesting the Danons rose up and defeated the Lord here? Hard to believe, but not entirely unthinkable, given the evidence.
Let's look around and see if we can find someone. They might be able to tell us what happened. This is horrible.
Is there truly no one here?
All of these ruins look like they were made pretty recently.
But if that's the case, then where do you think the people that used to live here went off to? There must have been Danons and Renins, right?
That's a good question. Even if the Danons rebelled and managed to overthrow the Renins here, there should still be some people around.
This debris... Do you think it could be the work of Renin astral arts?
Perhaps, but the appearance of these ruins is rather uniform, which leads me to believe otherwise.
Hey, Rinwell. That story you told us about the Dark Wings, it said that the evil king was vanquished with a holy flame, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Then there might be some truth to that old story after all. It looks like all the rubble here had been scarred by flames.
Let's not jump to any conclusions just yet. If we can find someone around here, we might be able to get them to tell us what happened. Dohalim, you forgot to take care of the fire yesterday.
What do you mean, take care of? Ah, yes. You meant to put it out?
Yep. If it stays lit, we could end up in real trouble real fast.
I see. I apologize for not realizing that. I shall be more careful in the future.
The way he's talking, it's like the thought of putting it out himself never even occurred to him.
Moving on, Dohalim, I should mention that the clasp for your cape is about to come undone.
Oh yes, I tried to fix that myself, but it simply refused to cooperate with me.
I can't believe I'm hearing this. Are you telling me Renans can't even dress themselves?
Lords like Dohalim have attendants that take care of just about everything they need, so I'm not surprised he sometimes struggles with the basics.
Even by those standards, you've got to admit this is still a little extreme.
Shiona's got a point. I mean, you don't see Renans like her needing so much help to get stuff done.
In my case, circumstances forced me to learn how to be independent. Even so, I still think Dohalim could afford to pick up a few more self-sufficient skills.
Well, specifically speaking, what would you suggest that I learn?
For starters, I think it'd be good for you to learn how to dress. And put on shoes. How to comb your hair is equally important. And learning to manage your possessions better. And then from there...
She sounds like his mom rattling all that off.
Oh, and another thing. About your owl, Rinwell.
What is it?
When he starts to molt, would you be willing to give me his old feathers? I think I could find a use for them.
What do you intend to do with those?
Well, recently, I haven't been sleeping well. However, I hear pillows made from owl feathers are very comfortable and wish to make one.
This is why I hate you, Renans!
Did I say something offensive?
Next time, put your own needs aside for a second and think about how someone might react first. Then consider if it's worth asking at all.
Woohoo! Woohoo!
Look, Hoodle! One of your buddies!
those out in the valley? Windmills? They're huge.
They're most likely used to harvest wind astral energy, so they have to be big.
All of you, stop right there! Don't move!
They have us surrounded.
Who are you? Where did you come from?
You first! Show yourself!
I'm the one asking the questions here. Don't try anything funny. One wrong move, and I guarantee we'll blow you away.
What are you...
My name is Alphen. I came here from Calaglia.
Alphen? The wielder of the blazing sword?
Getting pretty famous, isn't he?
Here is my proof. Will that suffice? Or do I have to burn down one of those houses to make my point?
No need. I believe you. I'm Bayfon, of the Darkwings. Sorry for threatening to blow you away. We're still hunting down the remnants of the enemy forces, so everyone's more than a bit on edge right now. Please forgive me.
Remaining? Wait, you mean you already took down the Lord of this realm?
That's right. We took her weapons and turned them right back on her.
Are you the Danon leader here in Niez?
Nah, I'm just one of the commanders. Deadheim's the one who runs the show. I'd be happy to take you to him. Just one problem. The Renans. Seems the rumors you were running with them were true. You do understand, right? I mean, we only just liberated the city from their kind. Everyone's short on trust. And for good reason. Especially Deadheim. I think it'd be best if those two waited outside.
Not going to happen.
I don't think it's a good idea for us to split up. It's too dangerous.
Then it's on your head, friend. Our base is that way.
You could have left me behind, you know.
This isn't just about you, Dohalim.
Yes.
I guess even after you beat the Renans, your work's only really just begun, huh?
Yeah. This place seems like it's got a lot of issues to fix.
So you're Alphen, are ya? Thought you'd be bigger. Huh. Guess the armor beefs you up a bit. You've got a lot of people talking, you know. But in this town, I call the shots. You play by my rules here. Just remember that. Gotta say, those other lords must have been real pushovers, huh?
Seriously? Are you this rude to everyone you meet?
Don't interrupt me, you brat. Didn't your parents teach you any manners?
What, you?
So you're the one who took down the Lord of this realm, huh? How'd you pull that off?
We just swiped the Renan's explosives. And then we blasted them all to hell and back.
Explosives? That's a pretty bold approach. But how'd you manage to avoid hurting your own people?
I didn't, that's how. But the chance to take out a lord was worth the sacrifice.
And the Lord? What did this sacrifice earn you?
Unfortunately, we couldn't manage to finish her off. But now we've really got the girl on the run.
She ran? A lord?
Yeah, the lady was just a coward. She had a whole lot more bark than bite, that's for sure. She's probably hiding off in a hole somewhere.
find her and drag her right back into town. Then she'll get what's coming to her.
I wouldn't be so sure. She may run, but she'll never go quiet.
Shut up, Bright Eyes! I would have run you through already if you weren't with the blazing sword here.
The whole reason you're fighting is to free the Danans in this realm, is it not? If so,
Shut your
then...
mouth, witch! That's enough! If you're really fighting for us Danans, why keep these bastards around? Why haven't you killed them already?
I'm not going to kill these bastards.
Whoa. Is that the case, huh? Then tell me the point of the show.
They're my friends.
Friends? Renans are Renans. The scum-sucking bastards who've been draining our souls for 300 years now! But you knew that. Maybe it's because you and the little lady are friends and more.
Son of a... You'll pay for that!
That's enough! Deadeye, you know that was completely uncalled for.
All of you, get the hell out of my realm! And don't ever come back! This is Danan's realm and it's ours, understand? I call the shots here. And I make the rules. I do, Deadeye, leader of the Dark Wings!
Yeah! Deadeye! Liberator Deadeye! You are the true leader of this realm! We're not afraid of any Bright Eyes!
It's only a matter of time before I throw every last Bright Eye out of this realm!
The Dark Wings! The Dark Wings rule!
Hey, wait up! Told you so, didn't I? You should have left your Renin pals outside.
You don't agree with him, do you? I could tell by the look on your face in there.
That's how things are with him. He loses his temper, then I step in and calm things down.
Better you than me.
If that's all, I think it's past time we were going.
Look, I just wanted to apologize for what Deadeye said in there.
At least somebody's got some manners around here.
He didn't used to be like that. But, well, that's what losing most of your loved ones will do to a man. He may never forgive the Renans.
It's a little ironic how indistinguishable his manner is to that of a lord.
Hey, Bayfon? Deadeye mentioned the Lord is still on the run. Any ideas where she might be?
We looked all over, but found no traces of her. We heard some rumblings about activity in Estaluva Forest, but that's it.
Estaluva, huh?
Wait, you're not going after her, are you? Certainly won't win you any favors with Deadeye.
This isn't Deadeye's war, and we're certainly not fighting it for him. Besides, it's like Shion said, her type isn't going to go quietly.
Hey, it's your funeral. Don't say I didn't warn you.
We'll be sure to keep you out of it. Before we set out, though, is there anywhere around here we can rest?
Sure. Building at the end of the road, opposite side. It's all yours. We use it as temporary lodging, to house people who don't have a new place to live quite yet.
We're not going to run into any trouble there, are we?
Rumors of a certain fiery sword have spread fast. I doubt anyone will be eager to give you guys problems. And here's where I say my farewell. You're on your own, but good hunting.
Before you go, how come you don't hate the Renans as well?
Oh, believe me, I've got my bone to pick with the Renans. Just not with two of them I've never so much as laid eyes on before.
Let's head on over to that lodge. We'll figure out what our next move is there.
I get the feeling Deadeye signed up to be a rebel, so he could have a roost to rule. Heck, he's no better than a lord. In some ways, he's even worse.
I know. How could he use explosives on his own people?
And yet, despite the toll of his actions, none of the Danans we've seen seem to question his assumed authority in the least. If anything, they may well consider him a hero, which would say a great deal toward how deeply they resented the Renans here.
Still, I don't think this is as simple as saying the good guys won out over the bad ones.
Yeah, I don't either. Deadeye might have managed to drive the Renans out of Niaz, but that doesn't make the way he did it okay. No matter which way you look at it.
A victory that's earned by throwing away the lives of his own people? No, that isn't a victory at all. I can understand that the Danans here are standing up against their oppression, but that doesn't mean they have to humiliate all Renans just to settle the score.
I'm perfectly able to stand up for myself, Alphen. Besides, I'm used to it by...
But you shouldn't have to be, Shion. It's just... What I mean to say is, when you've been a slave for so long, it's easy to accept that's how it should be because it's all you've ever known. Constantly being belittled is no different. I don't think that's fair. For me or for you.
I just don't know, man.
Don't know what?
Deadeye managed to drive out a real live Renan lord. That's incredible. And he seems to have a lot of supporters surrounding him, too. But he's got an attitude worse than any angry Zoogle. Plus, Niaz is in utter ruins. I don't have a clue what his game is.
The Renans are powerful. And because of that, it takes a strong leader to have any hope of toppling them. However, when you take down one dictator only to replace them with another, ultimately it's just business as usual.
If it'd been Zephyr instead of Deadeye, I don't think things would have turned out like this.
Rinwell.
Yeah, I think so too. Zephyr did things differently top to bottom. He's not the kind of person who would have forced his own views or decisions on other people. When you do that, you're ruling over others, not leading them.
To be honest, I don't know what I would have wanted my dad to do if he was in that position.
Law.
The whole thing feels weird in a way. It's a weird kind of feeling, but at the same time, part of me also feels happy. Deadeye and my dad are two very different men. For now, I'm content knowing that.
The city is liberated, and yet the air still hums with fear and anxiety. It reminds me all too well of how Vicente once was.
Hums? You mean like music?
Yeah, none of this sounds like music to my ears. In fact, I've never seen any Danans with musical instruments in my life.
You don't need instruments to play music. It can emerge naturally from the sounds of people going about their day and the hustle and bustle of life.
You seem to care a lot about music, Dohalim. I didn't know that about you.
Have I not mentioned it? Before I was a candidate for the lordship, I had my heart set on the life of a musician.
You? A musician?
Indeed. Music enriches the world around us. I trained day and night to hone my art. Words could not describe my bliss, as my notes carried with them the sights and sounds of nature, the ebb and flow of time, and the thoughts of people on the wind.
Dohalim.
Forgive me. My loquaciousness can get the best of me at times.
Don't apologize. It's interesting hearing what Renan culture is like.
Even though the Renans destroyed all of our arts and culture.
Personally, I was interested in the music of Dana as well. The fact that generations of lords deemed music to be of no use to their slaves and outright forbade the ownership of instruments is lamentable. Not that my words can undo the damage already done.
I see someone who looks troubled about something.
A little compassion can make all the difference. I propose we speak to them.
That Deadeye creep certainly has a few screws loose, that's for sure.
Forget that guy. Right now, we need to discuss how we're going to proceed.
What's there to discuss? Deadeye and his crew have already brought down the Lord here. Just let them finish her off.
I want to go after her.
I second that. I think it's the best thing to do right now. We don't know if the Darkwings have what it takes to beat her. I'm worried what'll happen if we leave her to her own devices.
You make a good point, Rinwell. And maybe I'm just being overconfident, but between us and them, I think we have a better chance at defeating her.
I have to agree. This realm isn't going to be truly safe as long as that Lord is still running around out there. We need to act.
Fine by me. But isn't Deadeye just gonna take all the credit once we're done?
Our job is to break down the walls that oppress Dana. What he chooses to build in their place, that's his problem. For now, we'll head to this Estaluva forest Bayfon told us about. Whatever we decide to do, though, we should take some time to rest first. We've barely stopped since Menancia. Where are you going?
Alphen.
You should get some rest. What's got you up at this hour?
Just let me be for a minute, okay? Why don't you go back to the inn?
I will when you do.
Have it your way.
Shion. The Lord's days are numbered. I haven't forgotten our promise. You can trust me, you know. Maybe even lean on me a little. If you want.
And if I say I will you finally give it a rest?
Yeah, of course. Try to get some rest, okay?
What was all that about?
So we're just going to check things out, right? In whatever that forest is called.
Estaluva Forest. Next time, pay attention.
Hey, if we find anyone who needs help here...
I know. We'll make sure to ask what's wrong.
I feel like somebody's watching us.
Maybe there's someone around here who needs our help.
Got sand in my eyes!
The winds are strong here. Mind yourselves.
The winds outside the capital are blowing as strongly as ever.
You can definitely see why people call this place the Valley of the Four Winds.
Indeed. Mahag Sar is the realm of wind, just as Ganeth Heros is for water.
Earth, water, fire, wind, light, and darkness. Rena is aligned to darkness, leaving each realm one element each.
Is that because some elements are easier to gather in certain areas than others?
That is certainly possible, but I suspect the biggest reason is to prevent the lords from squabbling over resources.
Funny. You would think infighting would come naturally to an elite class vying for a crown.
True, but the Renans rule as a minority. Fighting ourselves would just be destructive. Though, as you saw in Menancia, any abstention from fighting is merely a facade.
In the end, you all get usurped whether you like it or not.
That may be true, but something tells me that this time is different.
We have to catch up to the Lord first if we want answers. Let's keep moving.
What is that ring of rocks over there for? They don't look like they formed naturally to me.
Oh yeah. Funny, I guess I've gotten used to weird rock formations. They didn't even register as being out of the ordinary.
Most likely, they were brought over by us Renans when we first invaded the planet.
Wait, those? So does that mean there's some kind of machine then? And if so, what in the world were they even used for?
To manipulate the properties of Dana's astral energy.
Really?
Think about it. Isn't it strange that the type of energy each realm collects is so fixed?
So the Renans reformed it for the crown contest.
Sounds like the crazy thing a Renan would do.
Renans these days are more advanced than Danans in some ways, but even they don't seem capable of doing something on that grand a scale. Or is that something that's possible on Lenegis? Or maybe the Renan homeworld?
I can't claim to know everything about my own kind, but I myself have never seen anything that would be capable of such a drastic feat.
But at some point they did just that. Those are the sort of people we're up against. We should do our best not to forget that.
Brace yourself! This one's tough! Try this! Damn it! Too fast!
Stand back. I'll trip it up.
This one's all mine! Shivering wind! Rising phoenix! Take this! Dragon swarm!
Do it! Astral energy! Full throttle!
Take this! Burn!
Searing flame!
Do it! Internal devastation!
Talon storm!
Here I come!
Glacial spear! I never miss!
Internal devastation!
Radiant
mine! Dragon swarm!
Now!
Look sharp! Lightning tiger blade!
This should make for some good weapon crafting material.
You're so amazing, Kisara. You can cook, you can fix weapons. I feel like there's practically nothing you can't do.
Maybe you should take a page out of her book and learn to make yourself more useful then.
I'd be happy to teach you if you want, Rinwell. I learned most everything I know from my brother.
Really? Even how to sew and do laundry?
Yes, indeed. He knew how to do anything.
Sounds like he was a pretty handy guy when he was alive.
He was. I'd always follow him around and badger him with questions. I was a real pain in the neck. Now that I think about it, he and Legil were the ones who taught me how to raise cats, too.
Legil is that woman who was with him in the Gold Dust Cats, right? I remember now. The one with the really pretty hair.
Funny you mention that. He also taught me how to maintain my hair. Not that those lessons stopped it from getting all tangled up during training.
I think it still looks gorgeous.
From what I can tell, it would appear as though the only thing he didn't manage to teach you was how to apply makeup.
No, but that didn't stop him from trying. He really wanted to teach me everything. Only reason he couldn't was because I prioritized my training.
And here I was trying to make a joke.
I can't tell if she's being serious. The only one here who knows him well enough was her.
Yeah, I guess only Miguel could have told us if it's actually true.
Elfin, have you been washing your clothes? It may not be my place to say this, but... frankly, they're starting to stink.
Now that you mention it, it has been a while since I did any laundry.
I'll wash them for you if you want. Just remember to give them to me the next time you get changed.
Oh, okay. Sure. Thanks, Kisara.
And, Law, Rinwell, yours are starting to look a bit ragged.
What do you expect? Of course they're going to tear up when we're out there fighting so much.
Yeah, but it's still kind of embarrassing, having it pointed out like this.
And Shion?
I wouldn't touch me if I were you.
Of course. My apologies. All I wanted to say was that your sleeves are getting a little bit dirty.
You don't need to worry so much, Kisara. It's only natural our clothes are gonna get a little dirty while we're traveling around.
That's no excuse. Your outward appearance says a lot about your inner well-being.
Now you've really set her off.
Suffice to say, it would appear that the traditions of the Guard are still alive and well within her.
What do you mean? What do the guardsmen do that's so special?
Mostly, I'm simply referring to the fact that they're a very regimented and cleanly group of people.
Do I really sound that weird to you guys? Keeping your clothes clean and mended is completely normal to me.
Don't get us wrong. We appreciate the thought, Kisara. But we've got a long journey ahead. It wouldn't hurt to relax your standards. Just a little.
If you're sure. I wasn't trying to overdo it, I promise. However, if it's making the rest of you tense, I'll do my best to tone it down from here on out. Still, if everyone could bring their laundry and clothes they want fixed, that'd be great. I'll take care of it all for you guys tonight.
Don't you ever get tired?
Somehow, things are even worse outside the city than they are inside.
Yeah, it's all ruined. Houses and everything else.
Even if it was all in the name of beating the Renans, this is...
Maybe something's going on in the forest. I think Hoodle senses something.
Why didn't the Renans take advantage of all of these ruins around here? It seems like a missed opportunity.
Most likely because it would be inefficient for harvesting astral energy. That's what dictates the current positions of each realm's capital.
Plus, Renans are averse to using anything that belongs to the Danans.
Is the blazing sword okay?
A little water's not going to hurt it.
What's with that shining foe over there?
This one's tough, but we have no choice.
Let me know if you need healing.
I'm not done! Start up!
Glacial
I'm on a roll now! I'm like bait to that!
Glacial Spear.
We got flyers! Save you!
I've got this. Let him watch me.
All yours.
This one's all mine! Eat this! Dragon Form! Try this! Explosive ring!
Ready to go! Radiant here! Do it!
Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade!
See that? That training's paying off! Eat that! Shivering Wind! Hurricane! Searing Gale! Eagle Fly! You're mine! There you go! Surfer! Crush! Dragon Swarm!
Dohalim! This one's got your name on it!
Ash to ash!
I think I'm getting stronger.
We've got all the ingredients for that recipe now.
Great. I'll let you cook then.
Wait, what? Judging by the stench, I'd say the animals at the ranch are all grown now.
Is there a reason you're looking at me so intently?
Shion's kind of turned into the local fashion critic in our group.
So this is what lords like you wear. Certainly looks the part. I can tell at a glance what high quality everything is.
It's not often Shion's that impressed. You wear a lot of rings too, don't you?
They were a gift. Purchased rather cheaply, or so I was told.
What's your definition of cheap, exactly?
I believe it was around 100 to 200,000 gold.
What? If my wolf head cost 10 gold, then that'd mean... Holy crap! They cost 1,000 times more?!
10,000 times more.
If he sold those things off, I bet he could build a damn mansion with them.
At the very least, he'd never go hungry the rest of his life.
You're all beginning to sound alarmingly interested in my rings.
Dohalim, your spare bracers were getting dirty, so I polished them up along with the rest of your equipment.
Why, thank you, Kisara. I greatly appreciate that.
Maybe it's just my imagination, but you sure seem to fuss over Dohalim a whole lot, Kisara.
It is a little strange. Almost like you're still in his service.
Really? That's certainly not my intention. Besides, he's not the only one I'm like that with. Hey, Law, I saw your clothes were starting to get holes in them, so I stitched them back up for you.
Oh, wow! Thanks, Kisara.
Point taken. Do you just like looking after people?
I wouldn't go so far as to say I like it, but I get anxious if I don't. I'd always like to help if I can. It comes naturally to me. Back in the day, Miguel and I used to look after the younger kids a lot, so that's probably where it comes from. He taught me everything I know, and I mean everything. How to cook with wild plants, how to sew clothes so they'll last. Without him, we never would have been able to survive.
However, you're not a lord anymore, Dohalim. You need to get used to the idea that people aren't just going to wait on you hand and foot.
Yes, you're absolutely right. I'm ashamed to admit that I felt no qualms about her doing all that for me. As both a Renan and especially as a lord, one becomes too accustomed to those beneath you tending to your every need, both Renans and Danans alike.
Sure, that's how all you Renans are probably raised. But just to be clear, we're not your servants, Dohalim. Got that?
Absolutely. Moments such as this provide me with ample opportunity to confront my unease. It is difficult to tend with my own motivations.
What do you mean?
The truth of the matter is that my espousal of coexistence in Menancia hardly came from an idealistic place. That instinctive unease I feel deep within serves as a reminder for what it is that all of us here fight for.
Don't be so hard on yourself. No one's going to abandon you if you aren't always perfect.
Looking at her now, I think she's more like his mom than his servant.
What's up, Kisara? You look concerned.
Oh, no, it's just... I'm looking at our finances and they seem to have taken a nosedive. I don't remember us making any big purchases, though.
Ah, that may be because I borrowed a small amount to purchase something the other day.
I don't think you can call spending more than half of our money a small amount.
Half? Dohalim, what the hell did you buy?
As it so happens, I came upon a rather special object that I've long been searching for.
Are you talking about that junk? I mean, that unique-looking trinket you're holding?
Whoa, is that a...
Indeed. It is a lost artifact from ancient Danan times. Most likely, it was used for some sort of rite or ritual. Ever since we Renans conquered Dana, such objects have been disappearing. I simply want to do my part to help preserve both our people's storied histories.
Well, if it's to preserve Danan history, then I guess we can maybe look the other way. Just this once?
I don't know. Why spend money on something that won't even keep us fed?
More to the point, we all contribute to that money. I don't like the thought of anyone dipping into it without saying anything.
You must understand. Had I let that opportunity pass me by, I'd never have come across this item again.
Dohalim, maybe no one taught you that money doesn't grow on trees.
I may have been a lord, but I realize that much.
It's not enough to simply realize it. You have to internalize the concept too. Even after all this time, you still have no real sense of money. Our funds aren't your personal wallet. We camp outside and eat grass for dinner to try and stretch every last gold we have. You never know when we may need it.
I don't think we're so poor that we have to eat grass or anything.
Shut up, Alphen.
Shutting.
Let's just agree to not spend too much or be too thrifty for our own good.
This looks perfect. Guaranteed to hit the spot.
Rinwell, mind if we chat a little? I noticed you haven't been training Hoodle lately. Is he doing okay?
Yeah, he's fine. He's been catching fish with Kisara, and he seems to be adjusting his diet on his own, so I'm not as worried as before.
Maybe that's his way of pitching in, so you don't have to do everything for him.
Yeah, maybe. I guess at some point he started taking a shine to everyone too, just like they did to him.
You sound like you're okay with that.
Yeah. More than okay, really. It feels natural having Hoodle and everyone around.
I know what you mean. We all support and take care of each other in our own ways. It's starting to feel like we're almost a family.
Huh. I hadn't thought of it like that. So does that make you everybody's dad?
Do I really look that old to you?
Huh? You don't like that? Okay, how about you be the big brother? Shion is the big sister. And Kisara can be our mom.
Well, then how about Dohalim for the dad?
I don't really get that kind of vibe from Dohalim. He's more like an uncle. An old uncle, who's too preachy and snarky for his own good sometimes. And as for Law... Well, Hoodle took the little brother role, and Law's definitely not the dad. This is hard. Oh! Law can be the pet dog!
A dog? Do dogs really count as part of a family?
Of course they do! If an owl can be part of our family, so can a dog. When you think about it like that, we have a pretty fun family.
Yeah, a pretty big one as well.
That's why I like it so much. I wish we didn't have to do anything dangerous. I just want to keep traveling the world with you guys the way we are right now.
You okay?
Oh, it's nothing. Actually, I think I'm gonna go practice with Hoodle for a bit. Hoodle, let me know if you sense anything. I want to go back to bed.
bad feeling about this.
Take this! First strike! Let's try harder! My turn! Here I come!
Here's evil!
You're far enough! It can hide itself? Amazing! I'm not done!
I never miss!
When did I get so popular?
Searing flame! Reload!
Dragon Swarm!
Glacial now! Here's evil! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
See you continue on in that
No!
vein.
I'm on it!
Something you wanted to say?
Do it! Hurricane!
I wish I could brawl like you, Law.
You wish to learn my secrets, young elfin?
Yes, Master. Please, teach me the art of defense.
You want Grandmaster Tsar for that.
I'll smash you!
Air thrust!
Burn! Dragon Swarm!
Flame of fury!
Hurricane!
Glacial spear! Raging cascade!
Eternal Domination!
It's time to finish this! Die! Consuming wildfire! Lightning! Burned and rend!
Take this! You're finished!
Where are you going? Can't
Eternal
handle it!
Devastation!
Where that came from? Lightning! Eagle!
Ludo!
Go get it! Ready to go! Radiant! Here! One more! Art expert coming through!
Far enough!
Raging cascade!
Dragon Swarm! Tear you apart! Try this!
Astral raging cascade!
Explosive ring!
This is bad, right?
Yes, Alvin! Very bad!
I don't feel so good.
Feel!
Tear you apart! I'll finish you here and now!
Did you just heal me?
Yes. I need you, remember?
Right.
This one's all mine! All Dragon Swarm!
Take that! Armor won't save you!
Light astral! Focus, Manuel. If you can't rely on yourself...
Don't be a martyr. You've got all your friends here.
Thanks.
I really owe you one.
Dragon Swarm! Here and now!
Leave the enemy's art to me.
No place here.
You picked it!
Air thrust!
First strike! Hurricane!
Annihilate! Where are you going?
Take this! Far enough!
Radiant blast!
This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's
I'll
for.
show you just
Get
how
behind
strong
me.
my
Got
arts
it.
really
I'll
are.
leave it to you!
Here goes!
You're mine!
Radiant lightning orb! Lightning condemned! I'll be confiscated!
In a bind?
Hero lightning condemned!
Eternal Division!
Back into the furnace!
It's on!
Annihilation!
Ignite!
Evil assault! Lightning condemned!
Covering ball! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade! We won.
That treasure. What a sweet-sounding ring it has.
You really think so?
Oh,
Here's a
man.
healing art!
I hope I live long enough to regret
Thank you!
Dragon Swarm!
Glacial spear!
Try this.
Here's the evil!
Explosive ring!
Flame blazer! Raging
Flying
cascade!
free! Why can't they just sit
Searing
still?
Gale! Shia, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than
Come
done!
one, come all!
Leave the ensnaring to me.
got it.
Yeah, and the pummeling to me. The enemy wields arts too.
We'll soon see about that! Glacial spear! Here's the evil!
Undo it!
Freeze blazer!
Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade! See that?
That training's paying off!
Air cascade! This one's mine! Hey,
Can't get out of this.
Dragon Pistol!
That's quite a talent.
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Quite necessary when creating weaponry. Hoo, 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 hoo. Hoo, 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 hoo. Hoo, hoo. Hoo, 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 hoo.
Maybe something's going on in the forest.
Brace yourselves! This one's tough! I'm on it! Wind! Stardust! Rising Phoenix!
Dance in the wind!
Take it! Not today!
By the power of water! Mega Ray! Annihilation!
I'm not done! Dragon Swarm!
Do it! Dohalim! This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes!
Radiant Light!
Now!
Here!
Now you see what I can do!
With astral energy!
Too fast!
Stand back. I'll trip it up.
Stardust!
Swallow dance! Not in your dreams! Hear me!
I'll tear you apart!
This one's mine!
You're mine!
Talon Hurricane!
You're finished!
Rip and tear! Steel Force! Raging
Now!
Cascade!
Shivering Wind! Stardust! Devastation!
Dohalim!
All yours, Kisara.
I'll tear you apart! You're mine!
I'm even stronger than before.
Mahag Sar, a land where the winds scar and the clouds stretch far.
Kisara? What is he doing?
Reciting a poem, apparently. Just let him be.
What do you say we check back in on the ranch? This place gives me the creeps. You really think that lord is hiding out here?
Be careful. The air is dense with astral energy. Something's not quite right about this place.
How are you able to pick up on all this stuff anyway? Is it something that all astral arts wielders can do?
I must admit, I'm curious myself. Perhaps her den and bloodline has something to do with it.
Dohalim.
Apologies. I meant no disrespect.
Stay alert, everyone. There's a good chance that she already knows we're here.
Something feels odd here. Be on your guard. I suppose if you're a lord going into hiding, a forest is one place to turn.
We don't know for sure she's here. Keep looking.
feeling about this.
That's enough!
This one's mine!
Whirlwind snap!
Dance in the wind! Feel!
Take this!
I can handle it!
I'm just getting... It got fired!
I got this! Let a marksman handle it!
All yours!
Radiant here! Light astral energy!
You picked the
Leave
wrong
the enemy's
fight.
arc to me!
Lunar Rumble!
No complaints here!
Phoenix! My turn! It's over!
I wish I could grow like you, Law.
You wish to learn my secrets, young Nelson?
Yes, Master. Please, teach me the art of defense.
You want Grandmaster Kisara for that.
Too fast!
Stand back. I'll trip it up.
You're finished! Far enough! Swallow dance!
Radiant
Do it! Eagle assault!
I need to be stronger. Bad feeling about this.
You're mine!
Not my watch!
I'm not done!
Glacial spear!
Eagle
Here's
assault!
the evil!
If it curls up, time to get out of the way.
This one's all mine! I'm on it!
Will this
A charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I don't give a fuck.
Stop me!
Remind me to stay on your good side.
So much for sitting this fight out.
That wouldn't be a complaint up here.
Nope, that'd be silly.
Dragon Swarm! Talon Hurricane! Crush! Coming through! Ha! Melt! Scarlet Inferno! Take it! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
See that?
That training's paying off! You're finished! Eternal Devastation!
I'm all now! Law, get toasty!
Burn Strike!
Magic is there! Radiant here!
I can carve through armor.
You're finished!
I can handle it! Reload!
Swallow Dance!
Do it! This one's got your name on it!
Action to action! I can feel my power growing!
For the hideout of a runaway lord, this place is a lot bigger than I was expecting.
Do you think she had it built with that in mind?
No. Personally, I think this used to be part of a Danon castle or fortress of some sort.
How can you tell?
For one thing, it doesn't look like a storehouse. For another, it's old, and you can tell it was built to let people hole up inside of it.
Huh. I'll take your word for it. I don't know the first thing about brick. You know, I've always thought you were a smart little cookie, but damn, Rinwell, you really know your stuff.
It's no big deal. I've just read a lot of books is all.
If this is meant to be a castle, there wasn't much to it above ground. Are there such things as underground castles?
There probably used to be more of it above ground. That is, until 300 years ago.
So the main structure must have been lost during the time of the invasion, with only the underground part remaining. And then this lord decided to use it for her own purposes. Have I got that right?
But what reason could she have for using this place instead of staying back in her own castle?
That's what we're here to find out. Whatever it is, she's up to no good.
Right. It's all the more reason we need to hurry up and find her before it's too late.
man. I hope I live long enough to regret this.
You're mine! You're finished!
Eagle assault! Their hide is thick as armor. Light astral energy!
Flying freak! Why can't they just sit still?
Sion, can you take care of them?
Sooner said than done. Thank you.
I'll stop its charge!
Thanks, Kisara. Raging
Form! Burn!
Here! I ain't saving this one.
I'll set you all
Now,
off!
get toasty!
Burn strike!
Right, next one.
Already on! Hold back in their defenses!
Glad you have your uses.
Eternal
I'll
devastation!
show you how useful I can be!
Wind!
Glacial Spear.
Searing gale!
Freeze Blaster! Raging Cascade!
It's over!
I'll control! In here!
Here I come!
I can't hold on much longer!
Don't leave! In an instant! Impact block!
I'm reaching my limit, you guys.
Damn. Guess we better be extra careful.
What's this? Thing.
No holding back!
This'll be a piece of cake!
Here I come!
Raging Storm!
Try harder! Rising storm!
I'm like bait to them!
Pesky airborne scoundrels.
Sounds like a
No
job for you
armor
truly!
stop me!
Remind me to stay on your good side.
Charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop you.
Here goes! Don't mind if I do! Glacial Spear!
Take this!
Freeze Blaster!
Eternal devastation!
I can carve through armor!
Healing Circle!
I owe you one.
If it's in the sky, it's
Why'd you
mine!
do it? The enemy wields arc too.
You'll soon see about that! Heal! Glacial Spear! Here's evil!
Take this!
Lightning Orb!
Wind!
Alright!
Stunner!
It's showtime!
Devastation! Rising fury!
I'm out of ammo!
Severing wind! Searing gale!
Annihilation! Raging
time!
Should have messed with me!
You're mine! You're finished!
Leave the charges to me.
Do it! You are in tip-top shape.
As soon as I'm done here, come help out.
I'll crush you! Ah! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
With this, I can become even stronger.
This place is full of weird machinery, old and new. Just what the hell was she doing here?
By all appearances, the sort of unsavory research she wouldn't want to see divulged.
Even to other Renans? That's a scary thought. This place goes pretty deep underground.
It was probably built that way so it could still be used, even if the above-ground portion got destroyed.
Perhaps that's why it's still here, and why it was made into her hideout. It would certainly stand to reason. It would appear we can descend down where the railing has fallen apart.
What? Are you serious?
By all appearances, it would seem she was researching something here.
You think so? What kind of research could she have been doing in a place like this?
Your guess is as good as mine. Hardly anything the likes of us could imagine.
If we assume it was because this area is rich in astral energy, then it's possible she could have been doing any number of things.
Indeed. Renin castles and spirit vessels are often found in such locations. Intriguingly, Danon ruins are also known for their abundant energy.
You Renins attacked us. Don't act like you're just some...
Sheesh, enough already. This isn't the place to pick a fight over this.
How can you be so calm listening to all of this? You suffered at the hands of guys like him too.
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm calm.
What's this thing?
This will be a delicious piece of cake. Not in your dreams. Burning fire up. Great.
You're mine!
Eat this.
Rise and Phoenix! Win! Devastation!
So much for sitting this fight out.
That wouldn't be a complaint, I think.
Nope, that'd be silly.
No escape! I can carve through armor! Here I come!
Air thrust.
You're finished!
Now, farewell, astral energy. Full throttle.
Eat this! You're mine! Not today! Do it, Dragon!
Wow! Look what I just found.
You got company.
Here I come!
This one's mine.
I'm on!
Raging cascade.
Explosive ring!
Farewell, astral energy. Full throttle. Lunar blast. I'm all stuffed up.
Severing wing! Got fire!
I got it. Let a marksman handle it. Nothing gets by.
All yours! In a bind, Dragon Swarm!
Leave the enemy's arc to me. Let the marksman handle it.
No complaints
Now.
here.
Frozen.
Hammer!
There. Go.
Not a chance! No escape! Rising Phoenix!
Not on my watch. Mega ray.
Swallow Dance!
We got the advantage.
Good. Now we just have to make
Do
sure
it.
we keep it.
Astral energy.
Say no more! That astral energy was incredible!
I gave it everything I had.
What's this thing?
Brace yourselves! This one's tough!
This one's mine.
Take this!
Denied.
You're finished!
Here, raging star.
Dragon Swarm!
Gemini Ultra.
Anything in armor is all
Explosive ring! Burn show you how useful I can be!
This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for.
Armor
Get
won't
behind
save
me.
you!
Got it! I'll leave it to you!
Xion!
Get toasty!
Burn strike!
Right, next one.
Not a chance! Already on! You're finished!
Lightning orb! Lightning condensed!
Severing wind! Now or never!
Do it! It's over! Astral energy! Full throttle!
The heavens must be smiling.
Guess I misread the landing. There's nobody here. It's been nothing but Zeugles. No lords, no Renin forces.
They have to be holed up somewhere, right?
From the look of things, I don't think anybody's been here for a while. If anyone was here, they're long gone now.
That can't be.
Look out!
We'll figure this out later. Right now, this thing needs dealing with.
I don't understand. Did Bayfon lie?
He didn't seem the type to lead us on a wild goose chase.
Hey! Save your questions until after we manage to finish this thing!
Wind! Eagle assault! Searing gale!
The flashing part's their weak one. This one's mine. Too much to handle.
Here I come!
Now I'm in the groove!
Dragon Swarm!
Where are you going?
That frickin' does it!
Ready!
Armor won't save you!
Searing flame! Reload!
Prepare to be sealed,
Go time!
Actually, perhaps sound is more appropriate.
Less talking, more doing.
Blow away!
Cover the caster! Here's a healing art! First
There
aid!
you go! I feel like me again!
Try harder! My turn!
Lightning orb!
Here I come!
Thunderblade! I'll heal you all! Raise
Hurricane!
Healing strike! In the wind!
Severing wind! Stardust!
There you go! I feel like me
Rising
again!
Phoenix!
Got it! Annihilation! Now what chance?
I'm not done!
Not in your dreams!
Dragon Swarm!
Heal you all! My
Come on, Devastation! Ignite!
Do they not teach you to say thank you in game? Not to a
Now
Renin,
you
they
see what
don't.
I can do!
More!
You're mine!
Dance in the wind!
That frickin' does it!
Spear! Pierce the evil!
Here I come! You're finished!
Take this!
Talon Sword! Here I come!
Lightning denied! Glacial
You're
spear!
finished!
A bit of go!
I'm on a roll, man!
Looks like you got this one covered.
Explosive ring!
This will come in handy.
Severing wind!
I'm only getting started. Thunderblade!
Talon Heart!
I'll bring you back from death's abyss. Ha! Dance in the wind! Air throw!
No done yet.
Dance in the wind! Reload! I never miss!
Dragon Swarm!
Now I'm in the groove!
Raging Cannonball! Back into the fray!
time.
Lightning! Do it! Astral energy!
Say no more.
Mega ray!
Take this!
Annihilate! Mega astral energy! Raging astral!
Explosive power!
They're not playing around! Reload! Lightning condemned! Flame Thunderblade!
There you are! I'm not done!
Dance in the wind!
Watch it!
Freeze the field!
Try harder! Now!
That move!
Here! That's a big one! Try harder! Not a chance!
I'll crush you!
Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Here's a healing arc!
You're mine!
First aid!
Thanks.
Enemies incoming!
Burn in hell! Then we'll take them down!
Here's the
Take this!
There,
No
get
escape!
away! Annihilation! Amazing!
Try this! Tectonic punch! Explosive ray!
Here's a healing arc! Oh!
Try harder! My turn!
Ray!
I'll finish you here and now! Far enough! I'll tear you apart! No further! All good things come my turn! Dragon Swarm! Devastation! Rising speed! Over won't save you! Try harder! Now!
This one's mine!
First try! You're finished!
Will this help? You got combination!
I'm...
Here's a healing arc! First aid!
Try harder! Not a chance!
Feel mental fear!
Burn!
Lightning to death!
Dragon Swarm!
Thunderblade!
Try this! Explosive ring!
I may have bit off more than I could chew.
Wind!
Raging sword! Back at ready!
Take this! Deny! Try harder!
I'm almost impressed.
My brain's coming from you.
I said almost. Don't get carried away. Ready to go! First aid! Radiant pierce in the wind! They're not playing around!
Take this!
I'll be
You're mine!
I hope this thing is medically approved!
Did you just heal me?
Yes,
I can
I
carve
need you,
through
remember?
Right.
Try harder! No! It's gonna attack!
Right, watch out! Showtime!
Eagles all finish you here and now!
Will this help? Lightning to death!
Things come to an
Thunder
end!
Blade in the sky is mine!
Eat this! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Lightning Ray!
I took some!
Gemini Onward! Lightning Orb!
I can handle it.
Inferno! Lightning Orb! Lightning to death! Thunderblade!
I'll take this! Here and now! It's over! Try harder! Not a chance! No escape!
This one's mine!
Tectonic punch! Can't get out of
Thunder
this!
Field! Annihilation in the wind! Air thrust! Well, I'm impressed.
Now, while it's reeling!
Take it down!
Turn up devastation! Southern wind!
Reload!
Here I come!
And now not on my watch!
It's
They're
over.
not playing
I can
around!
carve through! I'll finish you here and now!
Lightning Gemini Onward!
Burn!
Thunderblade! First aid! Field!
Try harder!
It's about to strike!
Look sharp, everyone! My turn! You may be strong, but I'll never stay away from my friends! It's time!
Light Astral Dance in the wind!
Far enough!
I'll bring you
No
back
further.
from death now. Let's do it!
Reload! Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis! So much for finding the Lord. Come on, let's get back to Niaz.
Shion, calm down. This isn't like you. What's wrong? Talk to me.
It's none of your concern.
Even after everything we've been through together?
The two of us are only helping each other because our interests overlap, remember?
Are you serious? You helped me come to terms with Zephyr's death. You put your life on the line to save me. Don't tell me you did all that out of necessity. That it was only because we have a common goal. Fine.
Huh?
You don't want to answer? Then I'll do whatever I like from now on, too. Clearly, I'm just bothering you. So it doesn't matter if you tell me what's on your mind. But that doesn't mean I'm going to stop looking out for you. Not now, not ever.
That's not fair. Why can't you just leave me alone? You don't know the first thing about me.
But I do. I know you care about the pain of others. You care, Shion. That's why I want to help.
Because of my thorns, I thought I had been doomed to a life of solitude. Until the day I died, I knew I would be alone.
And now?
The truth is, I'm trying to end my curse and get rid of my thorns.
Get rid of? There's a way to do that? Really?
I'm not completely sure. All I know is there's a chance. But that's the reason I need the Renis Alma.
The Renis Alma?
The Master Core to end all Master Cores. It is bestowed upon the winner of the Crown Contest, the new Sovereign, as proof of their victory. It must be assembled from all 5 Master Cores.
That's why taking down the Lords is so important to you. But Shion, you're not in this alone. If there's a chance we can rid you of your thorns, I'll be by your side the whole way.
That includes us, right?
Like it or not, you're going to have to get used to relying on us every now and then.
What kind of friends would we be otherwise?
Thank you.
Dahnan Liberation and the Renis Alma. Looks like we've got our work cut out for us. If we have any hope of finding this Lord and their Master Core, we start by heading back to Nias.
Man, who would have thought we'd ever get thanked by Shion?
Sounds like someone wants me to grab their arm.
I'm joking! Damn, you're scary sometimes.
Shion's not scary at all.
Alphen.
I'll just, leave you two alone.
I can't believe this. To think they would give us a bad lead like that. Where could that Lord actually be?
Beats me. That said, there's no point wandering around aimlessly trying to look for her. We should head back to Nias for now.
What's wrong, Kisara?
Oh, I was just thinking about what it meant for there to be castles here on Dana. People build castles to protect things that are important for one reason or another. But not simply that. They're also used to project a ruler's power.
So what you're saying is, even before the Renans invaded, the Dahnans were still being ruled over. It was just by other Dahnans.
That's most likely the case, yeah. Though who knows how they led their people.
But after seeing Deadeye, I can't picture them being all that benevolent themselves.
What if it's in everyone's nature to rule over and control others? What are we supposed to do about that?
If it really is in our nature, then no. All that means is we have all the more reason to fight it. That's all there is to it.
About damn time.
Took long enough.
But that's...
Right. I can't wait.
Head on over to the plaza.
What's going on? It seems busier here than before.
Hey, look! Isn't that Bayfon over there?
Ah, there you are. It seems I owe you all an apology. I'm guessing you didn't find the Lord back in the forest, did you?
No, but something tells me you already knew that.
That I did. Turns out I bit down on some bad intel when I should have known better. Apparently, Deadeye's not as trusting of me as I thought.
But why would he feed you bad intel?
My guess? He wanted me to lead you all astray. Make sure you weren't sniffing around where he didn't want you to be. While you were off in the forest, I got word that one of our squads captured the Lord. The place wasn't even close to where you were searching.
I see. Well, the important thing is that you finally caught her. Did you suffer many casualties?
You're not going to believe this, but she didn't even put up a fight. She had no escort either.
Well, what about her Master Core? Was it recovered?
Sorry. They only briefed me on the basics. For now, Deadeye's getting ready to make his victory speech out in the plaza. In the meantime, I've been ordered to set up a defense perimeter around the outside of the city. So I'll be out of town for a while. I imagine Deadeye will announce what he intends to do with the Lord during his speech. You'll have to let me know how it goes. Anyway, until next time.
A Renin Lord surrendering without a fight? Something doesn't add up here.
I'm afraid I can't say I know much of her lordship personally.
There's a lot about this that doesn't make sense. The Master Core is a concern too. Let's stick around like Bayfon suggested and see what happens. We don't leave until we get to the bottom of this. I'm worried about just what Deadeye has in store for Almadria. For now, let's wait at the inn until he gives his victory speech.
Do you sense one of your friends, Hoodle?